Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So it's game week 15 transfer plans. I've got 0.9 million in the bank and one free transfer. I do plan to use the transfer this game week because in game week 16 we'll get topped up to 5. So after the deadline on Saturday at 11 o'clock we'll all get topped up to 5 transfers. This is due to the African Cup of Nations starting in the next few weeks. And I do plan to use my transfer with this in mind. So if I roll that one free transfer that I've got this game week into game week 16, I'll only get topped up by 4. So I might as well just use it this game week and then I'll get topped up by 5 next game week. I'm sure you've got an issue in your squad that you can change, even if it's somebody on your bench, and you can upgrade him to somebody with better fixtures. So I do recommend using all your free transfers this game week and then you'll get topped up to 5 in game week 16. Even if it's a 1 week punt and then you can change him in game week 16, I think it's still a good idea. So with all this in mind, let's have a look at my side for game week 15. So here's my side for game week 15. Ideally, I would have liked to start Nick Pope this game week. He's at home against Burnley this game week, but it looks like he's going to be out for a couple of game weeks, so I can't call on him. A bit annoying because I felt like it was a banker of a clean sheet in game week 15 at home against Burnley. In my last team selection video, I did say that I would sell Sarr and get Minter instead of him, but I changed my plans last minute and bought Anderson instead of him. The reason for that is I wanted to save a bit of money because I found out that Nick Pope was going to be out for a couple of game weeks. So I saved a bit of budget and then I could potentially sell Nick Pope for David Raya in game week 15. On paper my side looks pretty decent for game week 15, but I do need to use that free transfer before game week 16 top up. So let's have a look at the two players that I could potentially sell in game week 15. So these are the two players that I could sell this game week. Nick Pope looks like he's going to be out until after Christmas. And I don't really like the idea of starting Dubravka this game week away against Newcastle. And then the second option is to sell Semenyo. He's not really impressed me the last few game weeks and the fixtures aren't that great from now on. The two players at risk is Guri and Mateta, and I think they'll be sold in game week 16 when I want to buy Thiago. I'll see how Mateta gets on in game week 15 and how many minutes he gets. If he only gets 60 minutes in game week 15 Mateta, then I might sell him in game week 16. If not, then I might sell Guri instead. If I sell Gui in game week 16 to be able to afford Thiago, then I have to downgrade in another area to be able to play 3 up front. So that's what's making me think about selling Mateta in game week 16. He's got Man City that game week. Sarr's injured and he'll be going to the African Cup of Nations, so we won't have him around him. And Mateta keeps coming off around the 60th minute, and with Crystal Palace having a really busy schedule, I'm not too sure how many minutes he gets moving forward. I'm sure he keeps starting, but I'm not too sure if he plays the full 90 minutes all the time. And the last thing I want over a busy Christmas period is a striker that keeps playing 60 minutes and being brought off. So here's my updated shortlist for game week 15. If I sell Nick Pope, I could get Raya, Verbruggen, Alisson, Kelleher or Donnarumma. I think I'll give Donnarumma a miss until he gets that 5th yellow card and gets that suspension out of the way. Arsenal are away against Aston Villa in game week 15, so I'm not too sure if that's the best entry point to get Raya. Verbruggen's at home against West Ham in game week 15, so Verbruggen could be a really good option. Liverpool are away against Leeds in game week 15. We'll see how they get on in game week 14. They kept a clean sheet in game week 13 with him back in the side, so he could be a really good option. And Kelleher's fixtures are really good from now on, so he could be a really good option at 4.5 million. Then if I buy a midfielder for Semenyo, do I go for Minter or do I go for Foden? Minter's at home against West Ham in game week 15, but then in game week 16 and 18 he's got Liverpool and Arsenal. So I'm thinking maybe do I wait on Minter and buy him in game week 17 or 19 instead? And with Phil Foden getting back-to-back braces and getting double-digit hauls in game week 13 and 14, I'm thinking maybe I'll buy him. He's at home against Sunderland in game week 15, and he could be a really good option instead of Semenyo. So transfer option number 1 is to sell Nick Pope and get Raya. As I mentioned previously, I did save the money in game week 14 so I could make that transfer. But my thinking of selling Nick Pope for Raya, I'm probably only getting 6 points from Raya even if he keeps a clean sheet. But I'm thinking if I did option number 2 and sold Semenyo and got Foden instead of him, then I'm thinking Foden might outscore him in game week 15 and I'll just play Dubravka for game week 15. And then in game week 16 when I get 5 extra transfers, I might just sell Nick Pope then. I could downgrade Nick Pope to a Verbruggen or Kelleher, and that might give me a bit extra funds to get Gui up to Thiago. And if I decide that actually I want to sell Mateta in game week 16, then I can upgrade Pope up to Raya. I'm thinking in game week 16 I use 2 or 3 transfers to set myself up for the next few game weeks. If I only use 1 free transfer in game week 16, then I'll have to use another transfer in game week 17, then another transfer in game week 18 and keep ticking them on. I'm thinking if I make a few transfers and get a few points on the board, and then I can let them stack up again over the next few game weeks. Then when I get up to game week 18, 19, I'll have 5 free transfers again, and I can make another few changes. So with all that in mind, I do think I'll sell Semenyo this game week and get Phil Foden. Semenyo's at home against Chelsea in game week 15 and the fixtures don't get any better after that. And with Phil Foden, he's at home against Sunderland. And when he's in this type of form, I think he could easily score another few goals in the next few game weeks. I think the pairing of Dubravka and Foden will outscore Raya and Semenyo in game week 15, we will see. Get in the comment section and let me know, do you think I'm making a mistake buying Phil Foden instead of Semenyo? Should I just stick to the plan and sell Nick Pope and get Raya instead of him? As I mentioned before, Raya's away against Aston Villa, and so I'm not too sure if he does keep a clean sheet, so I'm not too sure if I actually want to buy him this game week. I think there's more upside on Phil Foden at home against Sunderland. So there we have it for my game week 15 transfer plans. Get in the comment section and let me know what you think I should do. We aim to get 2,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so if you watched this and got something from it, hit that like and subscribe button. I'm aiming to get 20 likes on this video. I'll be back tomorrow for a free hit draft for game week 15. Signing off, I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.